343, episode 343 of the 365 Message Center show. Today, we'll be covering off Copilot in Microsoft 365, applying suggestions for coaching in Outlook. A few changes there. Something along the lines of, looks great, send it. Second message we'll be covering will be voting and archiving questions in Teams queue. What? Q what? No, you'll have to watch the show to understand what that means. Last one, what's happening with Viva Connections in SharePoint? We see the word retire in that title there somewhere. Are we saying goodbye to something else again? That and more on the 365 Message Center show. See you soon.
How soon?
Just now.
Very
It
soon.
was only seconds ago for us.
Right. Yes, welcome everyone. So glad you are here. We have several messages to talk about. We had more, but we whittled them down. And we did that on a live episode, a live show where we had help from the community. Those, and maybe even some of you that are watching and listening right now. On Friday, U.S. time, Friday late afternoon, New Zealand time, it was Saturday morning. And we whittled them down to figure out, but we talked about the other stuff. And so you should be watching for that when we go live at the same time every week, so that you can see what is our thought process. How are we going through this? And we actually talk about those messages. So there's some great value in that. We'd love to have you join us live and give us input. And
this time we had someone pay.
So here's the thing, people, and we're going to talk about it. There's a message that I did not want to do, but Daryl paid. So there's a pay feature in chat and live on the live show where you could pay, like give a donation, kind of like hey, you're doing a great job. And if you want to do it, go right ahead and do that. It's right under the video. If you're on YouTube, you can do that. But he did it, and so he's forcing me to do one of the messages, and I don't want to do it, but I'm going to do it. Hit us up on socials at 365MCS on all the socials that matter. We want to talk to you. We want to collaborate with you and on what's going on in Microsoft 365 Power Platform, as well as hit us up in the comments. We've been having great comments on episodes, so it's so wonderful to see people participating that way, right?
It is. I really like, we've got all sorts of comments too. So it's about the message, or it's about the delivery, having some fun with recipes for pancakes. But yeah, I do appreciate the feedback around messages, because we're trying to make sense of these things too. And, your experience, your view, and maybe maybe a message is sort of focused on your focus area. So we really do appreciate that.
Indeed, we do. Speaking of messages,
yes,
why not just jump right in and look at messages?
Well, that would be good.
The first one is a pretty lengthy title. This is the one you were mentioning in the intro, or
yes.
the preview, or what do we call that? What is it called?
Intro. Stinger.
Intro. Okay.
I don't know.
This is the ship it.
Yep.
Message.
Do it.
Tell us all about it.
Microsoft Copilot for Microsoft 365, so that we're clear on what the product is that we're talking about. Apply suggestions for coaching by Copilot in Microsoft Outlook, MC 837085. We're creating a message. We're in Outlook, trying to find the right words. Maybe we haven't even used Copilot at this point. This is me. Most of the time I'm writing my own messages. And I get stuck for words. I've got a paragraph that I need to rewrite. Actually, no, I'll tell you what. I'll just hit Copilot up and say, give me some coaching around this. Tell me how I could improve my message. I feel like I just haven't quite got it. So Copilot scans through, finds a few suggestions. It actually has, you can give it another go and say, scan it again. Tell me what you think. And this option introduces a quick way to apply all. Right. So that means, thanks Copilot for the coaching. Looks good. Ship it. In a true, boss fashion. Looks good. Package that up and send it. Thanks. I'm happy with that. Now, don't we, Daniel, caution people to always take a closer look at what's been suggested. I'm still on the fence in terms of how much I use Copilot. I still want it to have a significant portion of my voice and words that I choose. So I wouldn't use apply all. But how would you approach this feature, Daniel?
I think you could use apply all in, especially when we're talking about short messages, where it's like it's analyzed a short message and you can look at it and go, you could scan, yeah, that looks good. Yes, all AI generated content should be reviewed. Microsoft loves to put that, AI generated content may be incorrect.
This coffee is hot.
Right, but it's faded gray.
Yeah.
And no one pays attention to it. So definitely check it out. Check out the content, making sure it's exactly what you want to say, because maybe it's changing your intent. You had sarcasm and it's not picking up your sarcasm, and now your apply all is committing you to do something that you didn't want to do. Or maybe it's not using Oxford commas, which anyone who sends an email without using Oxford commas, I lose respect for them. So
it's very nice of you. Very nice of you to honour the origins of English. Mm-hmm. I forgot to say, look, as I look at this now, I want to just clarify, apply all. When you do coaching, when you run Copilot through and it coaches you, there's like 3 categories that it could suggest. Tone, reader sentiment, clarity. And so it's going to have suggestions for each of those categories. And so that's your... Yep, I'll apply all of those suggestions, thanks. Rather than, apply this one, apply that one. So that's. And
remember, it's not like, we were joking about ship it. It's not sending the email. It's just rewriting the content. So when you say apply all, it's applying that tone, reader sentiment, and clarity. All of those suggestions, and then you get to edit it and however you want to, and then send it. So
yeah. All right, so this actually, they've got some screenshots here which are helpful, and also that it's coming to Outlook for the Mac. So nice to see. Oh, and the mobile. Okay, so iOS. Is there an Android one further down here? No.
Probably not.
And rolling out public preview July 2024 and expected early August. Complete, and then general availability early August and complete by early September. So, very good. Okay, well, next up is the message that I paid you to cover, Daniel. The show paid you ridiculous. To cover.
Rewrite in Microsoft Edge, MC841237. That is correct. This was on the chopping block, but for some reason, Daryl's like, no, we should make Daniel cover it. I tried to write his name against it, but he changed it. This is a feature that allows you to do something. Here's the reason why it was on the chopping block. Because, frankly, we don't know what it does. We do know the whole compose in Microsoft Edge. There's a tab when you go open up Copilot in Edge, right? And there's a chat where you can go, hey, Copilot, tell me all the things. And then there's a compose where you can put in information, have it change tone, blah, 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 and then say generate. So that's what we think this is about. I can't find it. So when I go into Edge and I have the latest Edge and I go to Copilot and I say compose, I don't see rewrite anywhere. Now you can put in text in that, and you can select, hey, I want to change the tone, blah, 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 and then generate text. Maybe all of that is rewrite. I don't know. Maybe it is the button that says no, regenerate the suggestion, because maybe the suggestion was bad. I don't know. I don't know what this is, people. And maybe that's my ignorance. I guess it is my ignorance, because I don't know it. I don't see screenshots, which is very disappointing, product team. When we're shipping things and we have messages in the message center, you should always have screenshots. This is a feature, right? So you should have a screenshot. In fact, they're very sorry that they did not provide guidance and information before it was actually rolled out. So it's actually already rolled out. So why can't we have a screenshot or 5?
I have an answer for that.
Because they can't find it either?
They can't find it either. Yeah.
So anyway, that's my best guess. So the way that this kind of works is you can take text from a web page, paste it into this compose. You can rewrite it. Maybe it's not a rewrite feature. It's you paste it in there, you select the tone you want to change, and then it generates. Maybe that's the rewrite feature. Maybe that's the thing. I don't know. It would be great if it had any additional information whatsoever about it. But then you can say add to page. So if you're composing in WordPress or even Word Online. Now that's the cool thing. I tested this using a Microsoft 365 tenant, Word in the browser that does not have Copilot licensing at all. And I was able to take text, paste it in there, add to, do its magic, click the button that says add to site, and then it pasted it into Word. So, maybe that's it. I have no idea. So Daryl paid, not very much, by the way, to have me basically make a fool of myself because I don't know what this is.
No, you didn't, Daniel. You didn't. Like this is more of a coverage of, hey, we've got to do better with our messages.
A little bit. That would be great. So if you don't like this message, hit the thumbs down button at the bottom of the message and tell them, hey, this message is not clear as to what this feature actually is. Screenshots would be very helpful. Better details as to how to use this would be great as well. It kind of feels like they went, oops, we were supposed to do that. Let's throw a message in there really quick so that we check the box to say we did it. But it's not helpful to actually, manage change in an organization. Speaking of managing change in an organization,
how are you linking that?
You might have a town hall where you talk to people about changes in the organization, and maybe you want to show your full video and not be cropped. I don't know. Daryl, tell us about this one.
No, you did. You just did. Stole my thunder. Yeah, Microsoft Teams. Video in town halls will display without cropping. MC841009. You're in a meeting, Teams meeting, you've got your video on, you get cropped, right, to that sort of is it 4x3 sort of, framing beside the content that might be presented, and all that gorgeous background that you might have that's been staged there, especially town halls, right? These are sometimes there's more production behind it, getting the camera pointing it at the executive that's talking through things or the leadership or whatever, even if it's, I don't know, like fireside chats alongside presented content. So what's changing is that framing around the camera or that video feed will not be cropped. So you're 16:9, it'll be there as it is. So this is really only relevant when it's about content beside camera. If you were just going to have a fireside chat and you weren't presenting anything, of course you'd just full camera. But I do think this is helpful, and like to see it. I think that it's actually it's fine. Where it might have been a bit of a squint fest and trying to I can't quite see that person or the expression, is when you get those full screen galleries. But this is presenter plus content, and we have screenshots. plus you already get points. And because it's a town hall, it is not about showing the gallery of people that are attending alongside it. It is presenter plus content. Good feature. I don't know if you want to add anything to that, Daniel.
I don't. You did
All
a
right.
great job.
Thank you.
Just roll out.
Targeted release, rolling out mid-August and complete by mid-August. General availability, rolling out late August and complete by late August. Hurrah! I know, it's done. And thinking on my feet as I'm looking at this message and, just coming up with just a really good segue, trotting, treading water. I might want to grab some assets that are approved.
Careful there.
I'm gonna answer the whole message again. For SharePoint. How would I do that, Daniel, with Copilot?
Careful when you're grabbing assets.
Oh, okay, I see where you're going with that.
Copilot for Microsoft 365. Well, now we know what product it is. Direct connection to Microsoft SharePoint Organization Asset Libraries, MC843114. I will say this once and then I'm going to move on. No screenshots. What in the world? Come on, this is a visual feature. You need to show us screenshots, please. This is a great feature, I think, for those that want to manage brand in the organization. Think about you're in PowerPoint, you're chatting with Copilot to help you with your PowerPoint, and you want it to give you some images, as part of that experience in the chat. Well, now it's going to have the capability of bringing in images from your organization asset library that's in SharePoint to enhance your product, right? Instead of just randomly grabbing anything, we're going to actually have on-brand content. So both in PowerPoint and Word now, we'll be able to do that. And I'm hopeful, honestly, I'd really like to see this across. I know I'm jumping off a message here. I'd like to see this across all Copilot. If I'm in Teams and chatting with Copilot, like, hey, give me an image for this, I would like for it to pull from the Org Asset Library as here's some images from your organization. Use these because they paid for them or they want you to use them. Like that's what I want. I want it everywhere, not just in PowerPoint and Word, but that's where it is right now. So that is, in essence, the message and what's happening here. I think if you think about brand, you think about the Org Assets Library, which is where we're putting those assets so that when you're creating or adding an image to a SharePoint page, for instance, there's that option to select the images from your organization and use those, which you should always look there first, in my opinion. So brand, the brand center, bringing branding into our share. There's so much happening around this space, and I think it's great. Daryl, do you like this this kind of using what we've set up for our brand in Copilot to give us those images and make those available?
Yeah, I agree with you. It's good to offer those images as an option. Here's your org assets that are available, and here's some other ones that we've found along with that category. And I like how it's already forward thinking about, well, how can we make better use of our brand assets library? Maybe we are not directly accessing a feature that says choose these images, but if Copilot is doing it for us and offering help, it could be good. It's going to depend, of course, heavily on you having your assets in the Org Assets Library, and hopefully that brand center that comes out will help to add additional metadata and manage that so that it will bring the relevant image to your request. Indeed,
this is rolling out worldwide mid-August, expected to be completed by early September. This is the meeting of Copilot, which is generative AI, right? Like meeting spot for Copilot and what your brand managers are trying to achieve and bringing that together. I mean, it is, this is, I think this is actually, we can argue all day whether Copilot's useful or not when you're generating content, right? Is it useful? Yes, I think it is, but some people are having a hard time finding a way to integrate it within their role to actually use it effectively. But hey, this is one way you could immediately start using it effectively. I'm creating PowerPoints from my organization, pulling in. Anyway, we've talked enough about this. I think.
Well, you actually have inspired just one sliver of another thought.
Oh, good.
Go
for it.
Generative AI. We ask for a picture. It comes back with various different colors, pictures, combinations of stuff in different styles. Yeah. And I'm a noddy head doll. I'm a something done in Pixar style, whatever. Okay, got it. We brands, internal comms and brand people, may or may not be quite keen on you using these sorts of images because it could come up with anything, 6 fingers, 6 toes, or whatever. I just hope that we don't see the same kind of combinations with org assets together to form monstrosities.
No, we don't want that. We want what is described here. We do not want that. All right, so. Let's keep going, and I want to deal with Q. Q was this character on Star Trek back in the day. Across shows and movies, he showed up. Very powerful being. So let's talk about that. That's
like the Star Trek version of Loki, right? Low Q. Microsoft Teams voting and archiving questions in Teams Q. We believe that this is an incomplete title. MC 844923. And what would we add to this? Q&A, of course, because it is all about Q&A. When you use the Q&A feature in your meetings, in your town halls, in your webinars, good way to manage those questions as they come in. And what will be added to this is the ability to upvote. So if you have allowed your audience, like you're not using that moderation feature where people who are helping to facilitate the meeting with you can look through, say, yeah, that's a question, we'll publish, we'll push it there, and then the audience can see it, these questions can be upvoted, so that you can get the audience to say, yep, we want to hear more about that one, please answer that in the AMA, the Ask Me Anything. And I guess the archiving side of it, they can archive questions from the main feed. So this, again, it's the main feed that everyone sees. You can, drop that off as a way of almost like doing reverse moderation. No, we don't really want that one in there right now, so let's just pull that one out. These are good 2 features for those of us who are making use of it. I got to say, Daniel, I think Q&A is underused in our meetings and webinars. I still find it difficult when we're trying to answer questions in this screed of chat and someone has to scroll through, or if it's not someone, it's me trying to present and then going and finding relevant questions and making people wait. Q&A would be great. Use it more, please.
I was just about to say, remember when we used to, and then, wait a minute, people are still doing this. Remember when those of us that use Q&A used to say, if you're answering something in chat, please give some sort of indication as to what question you're answering. So we actually know what you're talking about. Yeah. Well, use Q&A. Now, there's some things for me that I think the reason why Q&A has reduced or not caught on as much, I guess is the way I should say it. And one of those is being the whole idea of accessing it and it being something that's kind of very easy to use for the user. I think that there's some training and some adoption that has to happen here for it to be kind of something that they get used to, but I don't know that we give people enough credit that they can actually figure it out. So start using it, peeps, my peeps.
Well, and organizers, if you do want to channel people towards it, turn off the meeting chat, turn on the Q&A feature. It's the only option.
Yeah. Whoa. Look at you.
Yep. But these two features are going to be helpful for just even driving more engagement. Imagine being able to upvote that question and saying, yes, we want to hear that one being answered. General availability worldwide will begin rolling out early September and complete by late September. Our last message is... it's a retiring feature, Daniel. What are we losing?
Microsoft SharePoint.
What? We're losing SharePoint?
No, hold on. I'm just starting the message.
Oh, God, come on now.
Microsoft SharePoint. Feed for Viva Connections web part and video news link retires starting September 1st, 2024. This is an interesting message. This is, we are sometimes we get notification or information that's happening in Microsoft. That is one of the things about being a Microsoft MVP. You get, sometimes we have these conversations with the product team, and they're like, "Hey, we're thinking about doing this or doing that," and this has caught me off guard. Didn't know anything about it. So the feed for Viva Connections web part is that web part that you can add to your SharePoint page that has it's a feed of information, news, it has all sorts of things, engage, posts, all sorts of information in there, documents, I think.
No, so it was just news, engage, posts, and video.
Oh, and video. That's right. So they're getting rid of it. Not sure why. And I'm guessing, we're left to guess because it doesn't tell us why. But we're left to guess to say maybe not enough people are using it, or it takes too much to support it in the back end and Copilot needs more juice. I don't know. So on September 1st of 2024, it will be removed so you won't be able to add it to new pages.
That is soon.
Very soon. So in 1 month, less than 1 month. November 5th, it'll actually stop working. So basically it's going to be replaced with a blank space. So you definitely need to get on this. This is one of those, we had one last week where we talked about you're going to get billed like crazy for unlicensed users having OneDrive content. Remember that, everybody? If not, check out the previous video because you need to watch that one. It spurred a whole bunch of conversation in the community about what about purview and what about holds and what's this. So anyway, coming back to this, same thing. This is kind of the message you got to pay attention to. If you've used this, you need to go about removing it and replacing it with something so that you can, bring similar functionality. However, you're going to say, Daniel, okay, what web part should we use?
Daniel, what web part should we use? See,
I knew you were going to ask that. So you can find the alternatives in the message or in the link at the very bottom. It gives you information about, what's happening and then alternatives. There is not a single alternative. So meaning they're taking a web part that groups stuff together and to replace it, you're going to need to use 3 at least web parts.
I see what you did there. Not a single alternative. It's a combination of alternatives.
Yep. So you can use the news web part for, you guessed it, SharePoint News. You can use Viva Engage web parts to show the conversations and highlights, although those haven't really been updated in a while, and I think they need some love. And then the for
Stream
videos, you can use the file and media web part, which is kind of the replacement for the stream web part.
No. Wait. Can I interject there?
No,
so the files and media one, you can choose a file, but what about the stream web part? Where is that?
We aren't using the stream web part.
They should suggest that.
But we're not, because it's going away.
No, there's a new one. There's a new stream web part that you can use on video pages. Anyway.
But that's the third one is video pages. So, maybe that's what they're kind of wrapping it into, right? Is video pages. And the second one is highlighted content web part. Yeah, I don't like the alternatives, to be honest, because, again, it's not one thing. I'd really like to see why. I'd really like to hear why this is being removed. But it is. So, we're not going to talk about rollouts or anything like that. I've already told you the dates. Get on it. You have 1 month before it just totally gets removed, or gets removed as an option to add to new. And then after that, you have 2 months to replace it and find replacements. Educate your users on, hey, if you're using this web part, replace it with this, and this is how you do it, and this is how you configure it, blah, 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 so that they can be able to provide that service, provide that look and feel for people consuming their pages. That is it. That is our show. We are so thankful for you being here and participating in the comments down below. And when we're talking and chatting at 365 MCS on all the socials that matter. Greatly appreciate all of you.
Yeah. So, next week, 344. Who knows what's going to come? But
Lots
join
of
us next
exciting
week
things.
during our Mrs. Sorting session, and we'll figure it out together. We'll
Absolutely.
see you next week.
And hopefully next week there's going to be messages with screenshots. So we'll see.
Yeah. All right.
Bye for now,
Bye,
everyone.
everyone. Where's the stop button?